Hi, I usually start off my videos when I say Bulletproof Garage, but today I'm going to start off my video a little bit different. I'm going to tell you Dave Christie. That's me, Dave Christie, Bulletproof Garage. I started, I have to give an introduction about myself. We're going to start doing a lot more work on our YouTube stuff. Basically, I got a call from a sponsor and he said, your Facebook is the shit and your YouTube is shit. So he said I needed to start working on it, and they wanted to work with me on some stuff. I'll go into that here in a little bit. So my name's Dave Christie. I'm 52 years old. I live in Canby, Indiana. Cars is my life. That's what we do all day long, every day. I've lived in Indianapolis most of my life. I went to Lawrence North High School. I went to the University of Southern Indiana. Owned a lawn chemical company for a lot of years, and then I decided to take over a family business, which is a golf course, and I did that for most of my life, working about 80 hours a week, and still doing cars at the same time. Always have loved cars, and I decided that to sell the golf course, and now all I do is pretty much just cars and dabble a little bit in real estate. So I found out that so in the process of becoming Bulletproof Garage, I started building cars, and I enjoyed it. I tried to do creative things, and try to keep it interesting as well. Several of you follow me on Facebook, and I really do appreciate that. We just about hit 21,000 followers on Facebook. I've been seen as much as 7 million times on my Facebook data thing where it logs you. I had one video that hit 1 million views, and unfortunately it was a video about skunks. It had nothing to do with cars. So, but that's okay. I'm going to try and bring new content to YouTube. It's going to be content that revolves around classic cars, Mopars. There's always going to be dogs and cats and people in it, and my family. I'm married and I have 2 children. My wife is going to do a lot of the videographing for me, and we're going to try and produce some videos that are worth something. My daughter's 11, my son's 15. I really want to do something different, and I don't do this for money. I know a lot of people say, oh, you must make a ton of money at it. I don't make any money at it. I don't make any money at all. But I do get some recognition from it, which I appreciate, and I appreciate the fact that people see what I do and they like what I do. Having just people really appreciate what I do is really worth it enough to me. I do appreciate it. It does help selling car parts, selling cars. I couldn't do that without the recognition that I have. So a little bit more about me. I was in Roadkill, the TV show, or the web show. I was in episode 33 of Roadkill. I've been in Roadkill magazine. I've been on 1320. I've been on Hot Rod, Mopar Muscle, Truckin' Magazine. I've been on several other YouTubers' channels. A lot of people I found that I was doing a lot of stuff in the backgrounds of a lot of the YouTube channels, and I always decided that I should give it a shot myself. And I know a lot of people try it, and we've done some other YouTube stuff, and some of it's okay, some of it's not. It's hard to produce. Truthfully, it's difficult to stand here and be on camera. It's difficult to show off and show what I did, because I have things that I do that people absolutely love, and I have things that I do that people absolutely hate. And that's part of it. It's okay. It's okay if people don't like what I do. I'll give you a little tour of some of the stuff that I'm doing right now, and talk about I guess I should talk about my newest sponsor right now, Aces. Aces Fuel Injection is the company that I'm dealing with right now. They signed me on as basically one of their highest sponsored people that they have, and they're going to send me t-shirts, and they're sending me a system. They want me to build a Gen 3 Hemi powered 6-speed manual classic Mopar, and I do already have that. It's going in a Dodge Dart that I've owned it for 26 years. It had a 440 in it for several years. The 440 ran as fast as 10 sevens at 128 miles an hour. It's kind of my dream 440, but unfortunately my dream 440 is promised into my 1969 Super B, which is my dream Mopar. It's a 1969 Super B. It's orange with a 4-speed in it. It's the car I've always wanted. Several of you have seen pictures of it before on my Facebook, and it's the car I always wanted with the 440 that I always wanted. So the 440 came out of the Dart, and I had to repower the Dart with something. And Jared Pink who is Questionable Garage. I've worked with him several times, and he sent Aces towards me and said, this is the guy that you want to have do your stuff. They said he knows what he's doing. He represents himself well, and he'll represent your company well. I've had other sponsors. I've been sponsored by Belair. I've been sponsored by Fass. I've been sponsored by Off-Road Sally. I got a pretty sizable discount from Schumacher Engine Swaps. They actually did some sponsorship for us on the motor mounts that we're using in the 72 Dart. So Aces is who I'm going to be working with. That's who I'm going to be tagging a lot in the videos. I've got several people that are going to help me. A new friend of mine named Dan, he's from Martinsville, and he's going to help me out. He's got a 6.4 Hemi swap already in his Dart, and he is just a fountain of knowledge. I mean, I know everything there's to know about Mopar motors, the older ones, the LAs, the Bs and the RBs, and Magnums as well. And then the Hemis is something I'm really diving into. My wife told me that it was time to get into something that, modern power plants and classic Mopars. And that's the direction we're going. So we have, I've got the Rock, which is a 5.7 Hemi 6-speed. My wife has her 2017 Pursuit, which has a 5.7 Hemi in it. We have a 6.4 Hemi. It's a 2021. But everything that we own is crashed and rebuilt. I don't have the kind of money like some of these guys have. I'd like to make the big joke that I grew up middle class. I grew up middle class, but I didn't. I grew up poor. I was poor all my life. I worked as hard as I possibly could all my life, and by the grace of God, I'm at a place now where I can do what I want to do, how I want to do it, and create what I want to do. So if you guys want to go for a little bit of a walk, I'll show you what's going on at the moment. At the moment, so this is the barn that I work out of, and I don't work out of here often. I do have, a toolbox over here. I store cars over here quite a bit. I have just things I keep around. For future projects, I've got definitely a selection of big block automatics. I do a lot of 440 stuff, a lot of RBs. There's a 413, 727, another 727 with it. This is another project that I'm working on. This is a Dodge Dakota, 2000 Dodge Dakota chassis. And that's one of my favorite things is the Dodge Dakotas. They're full framed. I like to keep it all Mopar. So this is a 5.9 automatic heat and AC, and it's going to go in a 53 New Yorker. Watch for that project coming up. And we also have, this is the 6.1 Hemi. I'll have to kind of step over some things to get to it. This is a 6.1 Hemi with a 6-speed. It's a Cleveland Power Performance. I bought this about 2 years ago. Always had the intentions of doing something exciting with it. The 6.1 Hemi is 425 horsepower with a 6-speed manual. It was really neat when you bought it from Cleveland Power Performance. It came on a giant skid, and everything was on it. And literally, you put a battery to it and put a little bit of fuel in the gas tank, and you turn the key and it fired up. This has the clutch pedal assembly, the entire wiring harness, the gauges, everything is in it. If you ever need a good motor and transmission combination, Cleveland Power Performance is definitely the way to go. So this 6.1 Hemi and 6-speed at the time is probably valued around $9,500 is what I paid for it. And I think that it's a good opportunity to build something, but this is the motor that Aces, so we're gonna wire this one up while it's on the ground and show how easily the wiring harness goes on. Do a lot of the connections, you can actually see the connections happen. And that'll give you kind of a feel for exactly how to wire one of these in. I think it's terrible to try and wire one of these in when they're in the car because obviously you can't see them as they wire in. Some of the other things, we still do a lot of other work around here. I've got my John Deere tractor. It's a little diesel tractor. I love it. There's my 72-inch Exmark. We still mow a lot of grass around here. It's not like what it used to be when it was 72 acres, but we do mow a lot of grass. This is my 2019 Pursuit. I am a very big fan of cop cars. Cop cars are tough, they're fun to drive, they look great. This is a 2019, it came from Connersville Police Department, and it is 74,000 original miles. I put a Hellcat hood on it, a wide body on it. It's a future project that's coming together as well. Then some of my other projects, I've got my Grand Cherokee. This is just like my buggy, and I use this for running around out on the property with. I've got a side-by-side as well, but this here allows me to, if some of my older family members want to go out for a ride around the property, then this way we can take them out for a ride. It's got heat air, no doors, but it's a lot of fun. This is my 72 Dodge Dart. This car's name's Lois Shoemaker. That was the lady that bought her brand new. I'm the second owner of it. She passed away about 1993, I believe. And at the time, the car had about 100,000 miles on it. It was a slant six car. I bought it at an auction in Sheridan, Indiana, and didn't look anything at all like this. I paid $300 for this car. And that's the time when money was pretty tight for me. I knew that I wanted a Dodge Dart, and one of my builds that I follow really closely is the Cheap Thrills Dart. David Freiberger has always been, I love his writing, I love his creativity. He's very easy to follow, and just everything he does is awesome. But Cheap Thrills Dart is what this car was made after. I literally practically memorized the magazine articles of him building his Dart, and the idea is to go as fast as you possibly can for as low a money as you possibly can. This was had a 1968 440 in it with a 727, ran 10 sevens at 128 miles an hour. Ironically, 10 sevens at 128 miles an hour, back then, 10 sevens, I mean, I'd line the fences up on a test and tune night because I was the fastest thing out there. Now these guys, they're going 880s, 890s running and driving to and from the track, which is amazing. Another car we got here, the Dart Sport. This Dart Sport is the one that actually came with the Cleveland Power Performance motor and transmission. It's a lime green car. We do sell cars occasionally. This car is available for sale right now. It's a 1974 318 car. Some of our other cars, this is like my dream car here. This is a 1972, but it is dressed like a 71 Cuda. When I was in college in University of Southern Indiana, I had a Cuda that I drove every day. Keep in mind, this is 1993-ish. I had a 74 Cuda, and it was a 318 4-speed car, and I couldn't afford to keep running and driving it. So this is kind of like my payback for the car that I had to get rid of when I was in college. You can't drive a car that old in college and still maintain yourself. But that is one car that I loved, 440 powered. Here's another car that a lot of people know is Bulletproof. And this is my 1969 Charger. Is it a work in progress? Yes. Is it done? Yes. It's a car that I love. This is a 1969 Charger with a 12-valve Cummins in it, 5-speed and 4-wheel drive. It started off life as a slant six car. Ironically, when Haggerty called me up, they said, and I went to put insurance on it, they said, it looks like it's a factory 6-cylinder car. Is it still a 6-cylinder? I said, yes. Yes, it is still a 6-cylinder. Gets about 22 miles in the gallon. It's got heat and AC. It's got cruise control. Someday I'll paint it, get order new quarter panels for it. And as of right now, there it sits. Side by side, something that we do, that we have fun with. Twin engine jet boat that never gets out and about, but that's the Yamaha for you. This is the 74 Challenger that I built. I did a lot of videos about this. It's on a Dodge Dakota RT chassis. Built this from scratch. It was a $500 Challenger that showed up here in the middle of the night, and it is, I've sold $500 for the parts off of it. I've got less than $1,000 in that whole car running and driving with the 5.9 automatic fuel injection, disc brakes, nice bigger end in it. It's tons of fun. And this is another car that's neat. A lot of people like this thing. This is my free parts, all in one pile. This is a 1973 Dodge Charger that I got for free with my old 71 Cuda front end on it. And it's a car that I just put together just out of the stuff I had laying around. It's a 318 Magnum, 318, 5-speed manual swap. Just a great car. It's got a 71 Cuda front end on it, 33-inch tires on it. The car was free. It showed up in the middle of on a Sunday morning. My friend Lee Hale calls me up and he says, hey, he calls me first time Sunday morning. I said, I'm not answering that, it's too early. He calls me again. I said, okay, there's something going on. He calls me up and he says, normally I wouldn't call you this early. I said, well, it is early. And he said, there's a free 1973 Charger over in Danville. And I was like, okay, I'm ready to go, truck trailer, let's go get it. And that's where this 1973 Charger came from. It was free. And then I was standing there telling one of my customers about it one day and telling him the story. And he said, so you got the car for free, right? What are you gonna do with it? I said, I don't know. And he goes, I'll give you $800 for the hood on that car. I was like, okay, let's unbolt the hood. So I ended up selling the hood and the fenders off of it, and it just sat there, and just one day I decided it's time to make it run and drive. So this is another car this is the Rock. This is the car that I've been messing with lately. This is the 2014 5.7 hemi 6-speed car that I just purchased. It was rolled over. It's called the Rock because Rock stands for Rolled Over Challenger. And I built that car I bought that car July 14th, and 59 days later, I raced it at the Mo Party in the Grand Championship. At the time, the clutch was slipping, the number 8 cylinder was misfiring, and I had a blast with it. I put it in the burnout contest. Dylan McCool was very nice enough to include me in his video, and he included my whole entire burnout portion of it, as well as his, the YouTube guys that I know have really helped me out, pushed me along. That's a big thing, to be able to have these guys. You know, they want you to succeed. A lot of people always ask me, well, how do you get into social media? How do you get into YouTube stuff? Man, you just got to have content. I see a lot of people that do a lot of different content every day. I try to keep up with it. And it's part of it. You know, you gotta make something new every day. If you don't make something new every day, people aren't going to watch you. So here we go. We're going to make something new. There's Jeremy Scott. Hi, Jeremy Scott.
Hi, Dave Christie.
What are you doing?
This is another day in paradise.
Yeah, we're shooting a video for YouTube.
See that?
Yeah. Give me just a minute.
Oh, you're fine.
Yeah. So come on out real quick. We'll look around real fast. This is Canby, Indiana. This is where we live at. It's nice and quiet here. It's an old 9-hole golf course. I try to keep all my cars to a minimum. I've got a 4-door parked car. I've got a 2-door parked car. I've got only vans over there. That's the van that I intended the rear engine swap, and I'm still in the process of doing it. I just now recently started working on it again. I'd like to have a convertible rear engine van. And the drive shaft, I shortened that down 60 inches, and it's just a great car. It's just something I've been wanting to build. I try to build things that I think will just really shock people and really, really entertain people. I want to build stuff that nobody's ever seen before. I want to build stuff that people look at and they go, I've never seen that before. And I also, you know, I want to have things that have my name on them, where people see them and they go, man, if that ain't Dave Christie build, I don't know what is. This is a 53 New Yorker. I'm getting ready to build it. This is what's going to have a Dakota underneath it. I told you that we have a strong sense of family here, and we also have a strong sense of pets. This is Patience. Many of you see her quite often. This is my barn cat that loves to just hang out. I have her daughter around here as well. Her daughter is Princess, and she'll be out here as well. Patience keeps all the mice down. This is my 88 GMC. It is a truck that I've owned for 10 years now. Driven it back and forth to Florida, and it's just a dynamite truck. So basically that's my introduction. I don't want to bore you too much to tears with who I am and what I do. I want you to like and follow, if you would, please. I'm going to start doing a lot more content. I'm going to start doing a lot more videos. You can definitely follow me on Facebook. I try to interact with everybody that sends me a message. I try to interact with everyone that sees me out in public. And I'm not famous. I'm just a regular guy, just like you guys. I don't ever intend to be famous. I do intend to entertain you guys, though, and I hope you guys see follow along. Follow me during this Aces build. The Aces fuel injection build is going to be something that's just going to be absolutely incredible. They've given me quite an opportunity. I want to make sure that I do a good job for them. And I will be trying to post a video about once a week right now on YouTube, about a 10-minute video. How many minutes was that?
We're at 18 minutes.
18 minutes. I hope you guys watched. I'm not going to spam you with too many. I'm not going to spam you with too much advertising. I mean, I don't really have any advertising to sell you. I wish I could sell you, energy drinks or I don't know, whatever else they have, online psychiatry or whatever. I try to, but really it's just me. This is Dave Christie and Bulletproof Garage. Thanks for watching.